I'm Christine Lee. I play the cello with Boston Symphony Orchestra, and I also teach at Curtis. I love sharing music with everyone, and it's nice to be here. So I was finishing up my studies at Juilliard with my master's, and it's the first cello that I commissioned. And it represents sort of a new chapter in my life, this cello, because I was going from being a student and becoming my own artist and finding my own voice. So it's very significant with the new commission. I commissioned the maker himself, who's based in New York, Marcus Leine. And the first impression was that I was in love with the lower strings. And for me, cello is all about lower strings. And even though it was a new instrument, I fell in love with the lower strings, and as I lived with it, it just got better, it improved, right? So that's sort of how my journey started. So one of the most fascinating things about commissioning an instrument is that you work so closely with the maker himself. So I was looking for an instrument that's reliable and an instrument that really helps me capture my voice. When I first got the instrument, I was at Marlborough Music Festival, and we were playing Arinsky Cello Quartet. And that summer, I don't remember even exactly which pieces I played, but it was my first time at Marlborough, and we're making all these new connections, exploring all these great pieces together. And I remember this cello just helped me on my journey, again, improving and making connections. And I remember another thing that I played in New York on Jupiter Chamber Series, and I got such great feedback with this cello, and it was one of the performances where I felt just so free and one with the instrument, and that doesn't always happen. So I cherish those memories very fondly. And because I commissioned it, I stayed very closely in contact with the maker. And so we'd experiment. We would experiment with different tail pieces, different end pins, different combination of strings. And it just, sometimes you're looking for this, depending on which piece you're playing. It's also the combination with the bow. For me, it's just been a whole array of exploration. Okay, so when I first got the cello, I didn't have a second hard case. So I used to carry it, I remember at Marlborough, in a soft case, black soft case. And I hadn't carried a cello in a soft case since I was a child, right? I mean, since I played the full-size cello, I don't remember ever using it. But I really liked using the soft case, even though I was sometimes scared. But it almost made me care more for it because it's so fragile. So I remember always keeping it so close to me, and sometimes even in New York, I had it in the soft case, but I felt I felt that it was closer to me because I cared so much for it. And I think that experience, in return, it was so good back to me because I cared for it. Yeah, I don't know if it's a funny story, but it sort of brought me back to my childhood also, carrying around in a soft case. And I remember people would comment on it. It's like, I haven't seen a soft case for so long. And it would become the topic, at a dinner. And I secretly wish I could continue to do it because it's light and I quite like it. It's just so flexible, and it's a different relationship. For me, what's really special about the cello is the journey that I've had with it. And as I've mentioned before, I've seen it developed from the time where the idea was conceived and when it came into life, and then how it breathed and developed in its development was with me. And I think having that kind of close connection, because it is still breathing and living for me because it's made out of wood and it changes so much, so that the relationship I have with this is something that I cherish and is very special. And even though it is hard to say goodbye, goodbyes are always hard, but because it's helped me in my development and my journey of finding my own voice from a student and becoming an artist, I'm hoping that it will help another person on their journey of development. So yeah, it's not just, I cannot say there's one thing that's so special about the cello. It's the whole thing and the life that it has that I think is most special. So, it's kind of emotional actually. Because I think an instrument is an extension of you, right? So I would love for the instrument to be well taken care of. And I want to wish it well. It's like saying goodbye to someone that you really care about. And again, to like find your own journey, because there's so much. You just have to love it, and the love that it gives you back is boundless. So be good to my friend.